So our next speaker would be Hina Sharma. We would like to welcome Hina Sharma. Hina Sharma is development manager at IBM, and Hina would be delivering a hands-on lab session on design, build, deploy, a hands-on guide to AI agents. To know more about Hina, please check the below link. Over to you, Hina.
Thank you, Yashaswini. Yeah, just to add on to my intro here, I've taken this development role very recently. I have been into testing, and my entire career has been into testing, and that's how I've always been connected with the this forum. So yes, today we will be talking about a framework, which is BAI framework, which has been developed by IBM, and it is now open source to Linux. So to start with, let me share my screen.
So, Hina, before we actually start, since our scheduled time is 3 minutes away,
Yeah.
I guess maybe there might be other people joining in. Just wanted to ask you, you have been participating in GTR for some time. So,
Yes.
how has been your journey? And it's indeed our pleasure to have you again, once again, as our esteemed speaker.
Thank you, Aditya. Yes, my journey started in 2020, where one of our directors actually introduced us to this conference. And before that, I was not even aware of any conference. So that was the first time I started, speaking. And from that point on, I think almost every year I've been coming to this forum. Experience has been really good. The exposure that we get, if I'm into testing domain, the exposure that we get into different parts of testing is huge here. I know it's half an hour or 1 hour session. We cannot be pros in that, but at least we understand, like the current session by Avinash. Playwright. I've been using Playwright. I've been using a little of AI, but the way he has exposed today, the exploration that we did today was good. So I think, yeah, and it's been increasing every year. It's been growing every year. All our efforts, I think, are coming.
Yeah, no, it's again, I would say kudos to our such a talent. I think India is a power house of
Yes,
talent, and the
yes,
intent behind our community is to give chance to our local talent. See, we
absolutely.
we probably are one of those few, I would say, communities which actually goes all out and
Mm.
promote our Indian talent. And I'm sure that Hina, you are a global talent now, and Avinash would be global talent. If not today, he would soon be. So
Yeah.
that's what our intent is. So I'm amazed with the way that you guys help us out in bringing your learnings to the community. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks, Aditya. I do have a question for you. Maybe you
Yeah.
must be thinking on it. When do you plan to go out of Pune, Bangalore and Chennai and all those?
Yes, so that is some very good question, Hina. We need local support. If somebody becomes our, even if we get two people,
Uh-huh.
the idea is to basically go ahead and do GTR, break the GTR into single day events across different cities.
Yes,
So if I
yes.
can get support like that, I would love to do that. Hyderabad, we may do it in 2026. That is,
Nice.
I'm exposing this plan right away, but I would have announced it in the
Okay.
14th December event. But yes, our intent is to make sure there has been request coming in
Hmm.
for physical events across India. So maybe Hyderabad to begin with, and we'll see how to take it to different cities. If we get local support, we will definitely take it there.
Sure, Aditya. Good. All the best.
Yeah,
And yeah, if I can help in some way, I understand with the work and all, but then yeah, do let me know.
sure. We will definitely love to take that help. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Sure,
the offer.
sure,
You can
Aditya.
go ahead now. Yeah.
Okay, I think we are good to start.
Yes.
Um, so to build on the agents, I thought a good thing will be to cover on the basics of what we will be talking about. I know you're hearing about agentic AI, agents, LLMs for the last 2 days now, but I'll touch upon. I'm not getting into anything deep, but I'll touch upon. And if you have any questions on that, we can talk about it. But before we start with the hands-on or the use cases, we will talk a basic about what is generative AI, what are agents, LLMs, what is RAG, and the prompts. And then we talk a little about the BAI framework, what is it? And then we will dive deep into the agents. So Aditya, one question again. There will be some requirements as a prereq to do these hands-on. Um, will you be good with that? Or else maybe when we come there, we can get more. Okay. So starting with generative AI. So we've always been hearing AI for the last 10 years or so. Maybe in our school, colleges also, we did have a little on the AI, artificial intelligence part. But what is the difference between AI that was there and generative AI, which is there on, for the last 2 to 3 years now? With AI, we were giving a little data there. Like if I'm a hospital, or I want to understand which type of human beings will get sugar in the next 10 years. So I collect data from hospitals, large amount of data, big data, and I give this to different AI models. Now these models will analyze this data. They will know what is the expected, what should be the expected output based on the test runs that they will do. And then finally, this model will be smart enough to tell when the next person comes in, you give it the data, it will tell you if this person will have diabetes in the next 10 years or no. And that was it. That is how we were looking at AI to help us out. But with generative AI, things have gone a step further. Now AI talks to you. Now AI is another human being you are talking to, in a way, a machine made human being. So now if I ask it, how's the weather today? It will come and tell me how's the weather today. So it is a conversational thing now. So now okay, I'll go by the definition. A generative AI refers to the models that can create new content for you, text, images, code, responses to your queries, your questions. And again, this is based on the data itself. So Gen AI is the next step from the traditional AI. Moving on to agentic AI and agents. Starting with agents, I'll start with the agents first. So now agents are nothing but in day-to-day terms. If I talk about, I give you a task to do, and you help me complete that task. In machine language, those are now called as agents. Similar to what APIs had, agents, I can say a wrapped version of APIs that we had. So now, if I want to know how's the weather, I will have an agent who will be able to give me the weather details today, tomorrow, day after. If I want to set up a meeting in the calendar, I will have a virtual assistant agent. So that's how I design my agent in a way that it helps me perform a particular task. And what is agentic AI? When I have multiple agents working together to give me an output that I desire, the overall system now is called as agentic AI system. Let me give an example here to be more clearer. Now, like in IBM, we have the university relations, which means that we talk to different universities, and either we have those hackathons with them, or some IBMers will go and have sessions with them. Now, these universities may be far from the location, maybe near to the location. They might need an SME, or they may need a beginner level speaker as well, to teach their students. So now there could be an agentic AI system. So today the problem is that when these universities come to us, we have a list in the Excel. We go and check. We have 10 people who can give that lecture. Then we go to all those 10 members. We ask them. Then some of them reject, some of them accept. Even after acceptance, they want some money out of it. Universities don't have the budget. So there are so many complications. How do you resolve that? What we can now do is that we can build an agentic AI system. Now, this agentic AI system can have 10 different agents. First agent will be the SME agent, which can tell IBM has these 10, 20, 30 SMEs who can actually go for a discussion on banking for these universities. Then we can have an agent who can give me a list of universities which will be planning their sessions in the next 6 months. Similarly, weather, location, budget, different agents can be there. Now, if a university comes with a request that we want to have a session with one of your IBMers next month, I just have to run this system. The system will run its algorithm, which we must have built, to find the best SME who will be available, who is okay with the distance, the weather, the date on which the conference can be held, finalizes all this and gives you names of maybe two SMEs who are the best suitable for this particular conference. and vice versa. Maybe an SME wants to go to a university, and we get the best. Now, what has happened here is that I don't need to do all those work of finding the SMEs, getting the universities. This agentic AI system will help me complete everything. So AI agents task executors within the fixed rules and environments. As in, I tell the agent, that this is the list of 10 SMEs. Whenever you give me the best SME, find from this list of 10 SMEs. Else, I can say, go to LinkedIn and then find me the best SMEs. So I tell, it is restricted. It is restricted by the rules that I give it. Agentic AI, autonomous systems, that set the goals, strategies, and autonomous system, because all the agents will be working together. Agents will be interacting amongst themselves and finally giving you the right output. Coming on to LLM. Now we spoke of generative AI. With generative AI comes the large language models. Now, what is large language models? Large language models. So when I was talking about generative AI being the conversational AI or conversational model, what I meant was I ask it something and it returns back a response to me. Now, if I ask it, give me an image on maybe GTR 2025, it comes back, it surfs the net or whatever I tell it, the knowledge base, and then comes back to me with an image. So how is this processing done? Now, this entire processing is being done as part of LLM. Your large language model will take your query, it will process the query, it will find the best suitable answer, and then give you the response. If you've asked for an image, it will go and try to create an image. If you ask what is the location of GTR in 2025, it will go look at the database, give you the simple response of the location. And how does it now differ from traditional models? Again, the same thing. Now you are having a reasoning. Now, if I ask you maybe we'll catch up on that later. If I ask a query, I want to go to GTR today evening, what will be the best mode of, or what will be the best mode of travel? Now, what it will try to do is first it will find the location of GTR, then it will find my location, then it will, from maybe using GPS, it will find the best route. And in the best route, then it will try to see which is the best mode of travel. It could be metro, it could be my own vehicle. It will depend on the route. Now, what it has done is it has reasoned out. It has tried to find, it did not give me directly, okay, there are train, bus, and go, you can pick any. It told me that this is the best mode of travel. If you don't have that, then maybe you choose this. So there's a reasoning, there's a context. It understands I'm going for a conference, I have to reach in time. It's 10 kilometers from my place, 5 kilometers from my place. It understands the context. And then the response that you get is a natural language response, which means that I can read that response that it gives me. Some examples of large language models: GPT, the famous one, ChatGPT by OpenAI, Claude by Anthropic, Llama is by Meta. And there are many there are many small, now your small language models as well come in. So IBM has one model, the Granite model. So all the big organizations are trying to come up with their own models so that they can train the models and, come in the market. Some examples where LLMs are being used: chatbots and virtual assistants, customer supports, you ask a query and it gives you the response. It's all LLM based. Content generation, articles, blogs, LinkedIn posts, marketing. We just know so many of them. So all these are happening because of your LLMs. Coming on to RAG. This is again a very, very commonly used term now, the retrieval augmented generation. So what happens is when I'm asking the LLM model a query, it has to go and search in a database. By itself, it doesn't know anything. What it knows is that, okay, I will get a database inputs, then I will send it to a vector database, the context searching will be done, and finally I get a response, which I send it. So now this database, now if I talk of an enterprise as big as maybe Amazon or IBM, now they would not want their data to be leaked outside. What they do is they will create their own database. Using RAG, the LLM model will be going and asking this RAG, it will go to that database, pick up maybe what are the compliance policies that IBM goes by. So it goes to that database, finds the documents which relate to compliance, pick up those documents, chunk those, the data in those documents, maybe 10 lines, or you can give any criteria, maybe paragraph wise. You give those criteria, this chunked then goes to LLM. I'll explain later how the entire workflow is working. So RAG is basically sort of fetching those documents from the database and helping the LLM to give the context-based responses. We've all been talking about prompts. So what are prompts? What I enter in ChatGPT today is a user prompt. Give me the weather today. Give me the code for downloading a file, right? I give it. Now there's a system prompt within that model, right? Now for ChatGPT, there's a playground where you can go and put a system prompt. What is system prompt? System prompt is basically the instructions that while it was being developed, the developers of that model gave it instructions. Now you are a developer, maybe a senior developer, junior developer, and this is how you should generate the code. Now, when I give my user prompt, give me a Python code to download a file, this user prompt gets connected to this, gets added to the system prompt, and finally the overall LLM query gets created, right? Now, in the user prompt itself, if I tell that I am a senior developer, I want to download CSV files from my SharePoint, then the system prompt will be overwritten by what I give as a user prompt. That is there. But by default, system prompt is given its own role. It is given its own instructions. And that is how the model has to follow. Okay, so this is on user prompt and system prompt. Now, this was the overall process that we were talking about. Here you get the user query will be given. It will be added with the context from the system prompt, which the query goes to your LLM. Okay, wait. I think there has to be something here. So now the documents are chunked. So this is my RAG here. My RAG connects with the knowledge base. The knowledge base, suppose there's one PDF. Let's not get into much. Let's have one PDF. This one PDF will be now broken down into chunks. The chunks will be now, the embeddings will be made, because this data that you see is all the NLP data, right? Document and all. My vector DB will not understand what is this. So to work with vector DB, I need to convert the chunk text into embeddings. These embeddings will come into vector DB using prompt embeddings, which is a system prompt again. And now from here, I'm getting connected to my user prompt. It goes into LLM for processing, and finally I get the result. Starting with BAI framework. BAI framework, as I told before, this is it was developed by IBM. It was with us for quite long, and then last year it was given as an open source project to Linux Foundation, and that's for the reason we are using this, because this is open source and all of us can go ahead and use BAI framework to create our agents. So it can help you create intelligent agents which can reason out, which can act, which can adapt to the query, to the user prompt that is given to it. Furthermore, you can connect to any LLM provider. So you can have a list of LLMs. Once we go to that part, there will be a list of LLMs, and you can choose the LLM that you want to use for your framework. This is the installation guide if you want to go for it. Okay, so I'm good to start with the first use case. I would like to understand if Harsh or Aditya, how will we be doing it?
So you can put it in the chat, or basically you can show. I don't know how people will do. Assumption is that if they don't respond, you can keep on going step by step. Maybe the previous URL you can once again share it here in the group if that's okay.
Yeah, the URL is there. I also have a minute. I'll stop the share for 1 minute.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah. So I do have, but I've given it to Harsh already. I can also put it.
Yeah, I think Harsh has shared the lab manual, but I don't know whether people got it or not. Yeah, you can copy this.
Yeah. So these
Yeah.
are the steps that we need to follow
Mhm.
to start with. I can copy paste if you want.
Yeah.
But it does take time to, download some
So I
model
think
part.
you can just give it here in the chat and then you can start. I don't expect you to wait because it would spoil the timeline.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it'll not be that straightforward because when you download, sometimes Python still doesn't
Yes,
work.
yes.
So,
No, go ahead. I think you can just give this the prerequisites and all. Make sure that you can put it here in the chat, and
sure.
then you can start showing it. Yeah.
Yeah, if someone can start trying, they can. These will all tried and tested steps. The only problem is your machines may be different, your Python versions may be different, Windows may be different, Mac. So those things is something that we cannot handle in this workshop. But otherwise, you can certainly go ahead and try. So I'll start with this. Okay, let me tell the first use case first. So we will now develop an agent which will be my assistant, as in I can ask it to do anything for me and it has to do it. Now here I'm not fine tuning this particular assistant, as in I'm not looking for that you just do coding for me, which now organizations are doing. Now this is an open assistant, right? So we will come to what I mean a little later. So the prerequisites will be you should set up a virtual environment. Again, this is optional. But my experience has been that because there are frequent changes in these open source projects, what I did 6 months back did not work for me last month because the way BAI framework was installed itself completely changed. So it's good to have a virtual environment so that you can easily work and it doesn't depend on your laptop conditions and does not interfere in your work. So these are the steps to have your virtual environment set up. Next, there's a UV tool. Now, that's what I was talking about. So earlier, you were able to install BAI with pip3 or a brew, homebrew. But now it's not possible. Now it fails and it gives you a message that the process has changed and you should use UV. Now, UV is again the other tool for Python where it will help you install and manage your packages. So this is how you can install UV, this BAI CLI. Then we have to set up an LLM. Now there are two ways to use the LLM part here. Either you take the API key of the LLM, uh, and online itself you will be able to connect. So what I do is when in my code itself I give the Olama API key, and when I run my code, this API key it will connect to that Olama model and it will help you get the responses. But that is one, time consuming. Secondly, it might break in the workshops also. And third, your data gets in the public. So normally we do local copies of the local downloads of the model. So my LLM setup, so HTTPS Ulama download, if you go to this link, there's a Git website also, a Git page as well. You can download Ulama. Once you download, you have to add to your directory wherever you are keeping your applications. And once it is there, so if I'm here, and if you type Olama, it will tell you that yeah, it exists. Otherwise, it would have given me error. Now we can use these steps. Otherwise, I just want Olama model to be there on my machine, right? Okay. So once you have Olama downloaded on your machine, yeah, UV install. Okay, this UV install goes here. Then what we do is we will clone the BAI framework repository. Now, this repository will give me the starter guide for my framework. Because it's a framework, I need to have something available to use this particular framework. So when you clone this repository, you will be able to get the required framework information. Now, once that is done, you go to this particular directory. Then in Olama itself, we can have multiple models, which the Granite 3.3 is the one which is IBM created, and we will be using this particular model. Olama pull Granite 3.3. So once these steps are done, that means your prereq is complete. You have the LLM model now. You have your Brew framework available with you now. So you should be good to start. Now we will create our first agent. Now the code is again here in this file. I will go to VS Code. Now VS Code is the IDE that I am using. You can use any other IDE which supports Python and which will support agent creation. So if I come here, my first agent, just a second, that window is coming. Okay. So this is the first agent that we have created. Import Asyncio. Now, Asyncio helps you run your agent, right? Then BAI framework is the framework that we are using. From this framework, we are now using the requirement agent. Requirement agent is nothing but it will help you set your system prompt. We talked about the user prompt and we talked about the system prompt. Now, requirement agent is a BAI framework module which helps you set up your system prompt. The next module that we use is the chat model. A chat model helps you query, as in I have to enter that prompt as a user. Using chat model, I will be able to do that. And the third is the console reader, as in when I enter, this reader will read what I have entered. It will also help me, put data on the console. So these are the three modules that we are using. Now, once your main program starts, your agent is your agent that you are writing. This is the requirement agent, which I told that it is the system prompt. Now, to the agent, I am telling, I will have to go to this thing. Now, this is the overall use case workflow. I have a system prompt. I have a user prompt that I will be entering later. This is a system prompt where the requirement agent comes into picture. In this system prompt, I will tell my agent, this is your role. These are the tools you can use. This is the model you have to use and the instructions on how it should give the response. And that is where we said it's a restricted thing. So we are restricting the model not to go haywire, not to just get anything to me from anywhere, but do as I say. Now, once all this is done, then we will run our agent. The agent will ask me for a query. I will give the agent the query. The system prompt and user prompt will connect to give me the query, which I have to give to LLM. The entire processing using RAG and all will be done internally, and I get my response. Now I go back to, okay, we discussed the development part. This is the code I have also given on the deck. And now we will see how to run this thing. So I'll still cover all this. So this is my LLM model. I'm telling use this model. The only condition, this model should exist on your local. If it is not on your local, then you have to give the API key, which you have to define. The role, I'm saying you are a friendly AI assistant. And instructions, you have to be helpful to me. You have to be conversational in all your interactions. So this is how I define my system prompt. The next is the reader, which is an object of console reader, which will just take my prompt that I give. And the fallback is if suppose user does not give anything and just enters blank. So I say, you take this as the default query. Okay. Now this is just to print, just to see what is the output. Now from prompt in reader, the reader has taken your prompt. I can give a list of prompts if I want. Then how the response will work. It will await for the agent to run with my prompt that I have given. Now, when you run this, it is internally also getting connected to your requirement agent. Now, because this is a framework, it is internally getting connected. Iterations is basically how many times the agent should try and connect with the database if it is not getting the output, all that part. Retries, if suppose the model does not give a response internally, or something wrong happens, it is not able to connect, it will try for 3 times and maximum 10 times. Finally, now response will come to from the agent. It will await for the response. Once the response comes, it will be given to this particular variable. And the writer, the write function from the reader module, it will now give you the right response. Agent will run. So this is my first thing that I will get. Now let me start and run it. Okay. Now if you see, I had put a print here, reader type reader. It's telling me that this is the class. It's the console reader class. Now it is asking me for the user prompt. So what I will say is, now this is a testing forum. Let me ask, give me 5 test cases to test a React UI, right? I want both positive and negative test cases with appropriate test data. Okay. Suppose this is a very generic test case. It doesn't know which UI it is. I'm just giving it, it's created on React. Let's see what it gives. Okay, it's taking time. So this is how we can use BA by the time it comes back, BAI framework to create our test cases. Now it could be anything because this is a general assistant. It could be, you can ask any question to it. You can ask about the weather. You can ask about create a test plan for me. You can ask, create a test strategy for me, performance testing. Just ask it anything. So it has now given me 5 test cases. Verify the form submission works correctly when all the required field. Now it doesn't know what my screen is, okay? That which is prompt engineering, how I can create good prompts. But here it is general. Now these are 2. Now it has given me 3 negative test cases. So this is how you can create your first basic agent. All your creativity now to because this is a basic agent. It's now you can ask it to do I'll come to the next maybe use case, which will help us know it better. So any questions till now, or should we handle questions till the end? Okay.
Yeah, I think you can continue and listen. People, feel free to stop Hina if you want. I think the best way would be to keep on going. And yeah, if you have questions, you can unmute and ask.
Yeah. Okay, sure, I'll move. So yeah, these are the run through agents. So you've done the syncing. This is the environment file. And see the environment file also. Yeah. It is there. Yeah. So the environment file gives you where do you want to run it? What is the model name? If you want to. So I have overwritten the model name, right? But my environment profile had 3.38b as well. If I would not have given a model, it would have picked this model. And similarly, you can work upon many things, which for models, mainly the environment profile is set, and you can update. So this BAR framework is giving you this template. And if suppose you have downloaded the Anthropic template, just give the required details here and you are good to go with that as well. And then Olama pull we did this, and finally you run the agent using the UV run. The next interesting case that we will go ahead is the multi-agent case. Now, currently you just created one single agent, basic agent to help you do anything that you want. How are we? Okay, let me also, you might be having this question that how can we use it? So like for testing and all, of course you can. In our, day-to-day work in our office, we are also trying to connect these agents using BAI framework itself with our applications. So for example, if my application is a dashboard, I am creating these queries that user can ask. What is the capacity of this application as of now? When is my storage going to end? So we have created these small queries where the agent will run. It will go and touch base with my application. There's a plugin created using MCP servers. And finally, I get the output. So I don't have to go and read the dashboard. There are 10 pages, 10 menus on the dashboard. I don't need to do anything. I simply go, I click on the query and I get my response. So that is how we can use agents in our applications as well. Because I know that ChatGPT and all exists, and why do I go ahead and create the agent? And that is the main purpose of creating your agents to build a system with your current applications that you are using. Okay, now we'll create an autonomous multi-agent use case where I will have 3 different agents. And these agents are now tuned agents. The earlier assistant was a generic assistant, but now I will have tuned agents, which means that I will tell the agent what is your role, and it has to work within those limits itself. Okay. Now the case is develop an agentic AI system which can help me suggest activities based on the location and the weather. For example, I have come to Pune. Which are the locations which are the tourist spots that I can visit? I have to go in the evening and I stay in Wakar. So it will now analyze and understand the timings part and all those things, and then finally give me the spot that I can go and visit. So this is how it is. I give a user prompt. All the 3 agents will start working. So it is actually they are sequential agents. But based on my query, any agent could be the first agent. So agent 1, it takes my query. Okay, she stays in Wakar, so Wakar, this is the atmosphere or this is the temperature out there. Or maybe it talks about Pune at a high level. Okay, Pune has these 10 places to visit. Then it gives agent 2 that particular output. Now, agent 2 will take everything and okay, so she's staying here. These are the 10 locations. These are the 5 locations which are possible to be visited today. And then finally, it gives that to agent 3. Agent 3 is a travel agent, and it will further analyze based on its understanding. And after this analysis, I will get a response that you should go and visit this particular place. Okay. So have we come back to our agent part? Okay. So yes, these are the basic modules that you have to have. OS and sys we all know, but asyncio is something that you need to run your agent. Traceback is mainly for logging purpose. We still have requirement agent because that is a must have. It's a system prompt. Conditional requirement, I can give conditions to my agent that based on this condition, you take the next action. And similarly, I think all of these are there. DuckDuckGo is mainly, I will tell the agent where should you go and search, Think tool is again a place where agents can go and think to give you the final output. Wikipedia is another one, which we normally use to for searching purpose. So we can use different modules. So this is there. Coming on to my this requirement agent, I am saying the model name is 3.38b this time. I am giving it the tools. So I am giving use think tool, use DuckDuckGo search, or open me to TO tool to find out what I'm asking. What the user wants to know, you can go and find out from these places. None other than you should not go to Google to find out what are the tourist spots in Pune. If the DuckDuckGo doesn't have that information, fine. Let the user know. Then conditional requirement that you just do for one search, how many times you can do, how many times you should go and check with them. So yeah, these are some conditions that time we are giving. Okay. Yeah, again, the fallback is the same. And now I'm asking it to run it for me. I was actually trying to see this also. Okay, let me go. This is the multi-agent weather. That was another one, a smaller one, but we'll go here. So now what I'm doing is, if you see, my requirement agent is here. It is having a list. So requirements, this is my requirement agent. These are some basic descriptions. So this particular overall autonomous system is a destination expert. It is a specialist in location, attractions, history, culture, information. The tools that I'm giving it is Wikipedia, DuckDuck, SearchGo. The memory, when I say unconstrained memory, so all of us know about chain of thoughts that even in ChatGPT, if I say I have to go to Pune, secondly, I want to go by flight, it will be able to connect that Hina wants to go to Pune by flight. Now, where is it storing everything? So the models have their own memory within themselves, and the discussions that we are having, they are stored in those particular memory. So this is again one of the instructions that I give my model or my agent, that the memory is unconstrained memory. So don't worry about, you use as much as you want. Okay. And these are again some of the conditions, that we can put further. So now what is the destination research specialist role about? It is, so I see, do you see the level of detail that I'm giving it to the agent? I can add more to it, I can reduce more, but I'm telling it when someone asks about a location, you tell them everything about the location, seasonal events, cultural considerations. Ensure all recommendations are specific to the destination and tailored to create authentic travel experience. Don't give me anything, give me particular things, right? Then I have a second requirement agent. So now this requirement agent ka pura jo, the complete overall thing, this is one agent. Now my second agent is a travel meteorologist. Now what is it doing? It will now expert on seasonal weather patterns and climate consideration for travelers. Again, very detailed. What are the outdoor activities possible? What are the sightseeing possible? All these details here. Now I have a third agent, which is my travel advisor. Now, requirement agent is travel advisor, a personal travel concierge to help plan your perfect trips. So now this is now, if you see, it is very, very, very focused on the weather, the location, plus the main focus is on traveling. I, as a traveler, would need certain information, and these three agents will work together to give me the best possible answer. Okay. Now I go to prompt in the reader. We all know that reader will take the input from the user. A prompt will be created. Now it will say processing with the first, I told that it was a sequential one. Now the first one will be the travel advisor agent. Now travel advisor agent will now come in. It will start execution. The expected outer detailed trip plan for the given destination. That means if I say I want to visit Hyderabad tomorrow, it will give me all the details about Hyderabad first. These are the tourist spots, this is the weather and everything. So now received response from this agent. Now this agent will give its response to the second agent, which is my travel advisor, which will again take the response. And finally, I will get the output from the travel advisor. So internally, these agents will be working in, and you will see the responses here. So if I come here, okay. So I say multi-agent. So if you see UV package is helping me run the agents. It's now I'm a user. So as a user, I'll say I want to visit New York next week. Please help me the places I can visit. Also, I would like to play football in the evening, which would be the best location in New York. So evening, I cannot go back. Okay, I think it get confused, but yeah, let's see. Okay, I think there's some problem. I want to visit New York. Let's see what it say. Okay, I think there's some problem here. Let me go to the other one. Let's Okay, so now here it has taken my location. To plan activities for the visit to New York, I need to consider the current weather and any ongoing events. So I will use DuckDuckGo. See, it is that explainable. So we have that explainable AI, right? Now this is what it's trying to explain, that how is it going to search, from where it is going to search, and it is all based on the instructions that I have given. Okay. Now, then the next tool is Open Me tool. It takes the city. Start date is take by itself next week. And temperature unit is in Celsius. And then finally, it gives me all the details about it. Now it knows the location, it knows the weather, and it will finally tell me current weather forecast. New York City is experiencing mild conditions. This thing, and this is a different agent that I was working on. Now it is giving me all the outputs. So please visit these websites for real-time information. So now this particular agent was just to know the weather of Boston next week or New York. But if this would have run, it would have given me the places that I could visit. I don't know what has gone error here. I'll check, and probably some small thing. But yeah, so this is how your multi-agent environments work today. If you're using an application, as an example, if I take an enterprise application, right, where a user creates a platform, a virtual environment, and on that virtual environment, I need to install a DB2 or a WebSphere application. Now, today, what I do is I reserve my virtual machine, I change the memory, change the drive size and all those things. Finally, I get the VM, and then I will again go find the packages for DB2 or WebSphere, install them. I can probably have two agents. First agent can always help me get my virtual machine in seconds. it's that fast how it works, of course, based on where it gets the VM from. And secondly, now it will always have those packages, and I'll tell from where to get the packages. If it is from public libraries, it gets from public libraries. If within the enterprise environment, from there, and then it will help you install those things. And that's how your multi agent environments work, which is now, I think, the most happening thing which is happening. And you have the MCP servers plug into your applications. You can be as creative as possible to use these applications, your agents and all. And with these ready-made frameworks, the hassles of writing from scratch is controlled. Yeah, this is from my side. Any questions?
So guys, any questions for Hina?
I hope I was clear enough.
Yes, the fun part is that there is a lot of hands-on,
Mhm.
but I don't know how many people really did it actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So either the initial thought was it will be hands-on, but looking at time and being a virtual, I think its workshops are difficult because if someone gets into trouble, then you cannot go and help them.
True.
Yeah. So, but the steps, if the steps are followed, and your laptop and everything supports, it should be good to go.
Sure. So
Yeah.
any queries, guys? Anything that you want to ask Hina? Anybody?
Hi, Hina.
Right.
Does it only work on Mac or is it also compatible with Windows?
It's absolutely compatible with Windows. It's just that the commands will change accordingly. So I'll give you the links from where you can refer, and the downloadables and all. Everything will be there.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Guys, anybody else? Anything that you want to ask? We have loads of time.
Yeah.
If I look at basically the schedule, we have around 20 minutes, at least 22 minutes before we break. But
Yes.
yes,
Did
so
anyone try? Maybe if someone can help, someone would want
yeah,
some help. If someone has tried downloading BAI, Olama in general also you can download. So just download Olama and you're good to go with the queries part, and you can connect with any application, with your application, however it works. But Olama by itself can help you. You don't need ChatGPT, then Olama on a laptop you can use.
Hina, one more question.
Mhm.
Uh, so this BUI AI framework, so how is it different from the LangChain LangGraph framework? Like what is the benefit of using it?
I have not used LangChain by myself, but I'm aware people are using it. LangChains again help you connect more with Java-based applications, if I'm not wrong. And that's my understanding. But I've personally not used LangChain. We have mostly been using BAI.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
look, question to participant. Has anybody downloaded or tried doing something which you would like to share right now on your screen that how much you are through? Anybody? मुश्किल है. I think this is where I was worried also
Yeah.
because either they start and they are ready. If they're not ready, then it becomes little tough in doing this. So I don't know how to continue this conversation, Hina, but I would ask people if you have any question, maybe, and then otherwise not, maybe we can let Hina go and break and have a longer break. So, do you want to ask some questions, Hina? Let us basically see if people answer that, okay? Or maybe let's see that if you can ask them some simple AI related question and let's see how people respond to that. Guys, whoever is basically live now, can you show up in your bring your camera up if that's okay? This is your opportunity. We'll also make sure that we will go in a gallery mode and share this on social media as well. So let me bring my video to start with. And anybody else would like to share their video? I don't know. This is virtual, but if you are comfortable, you can. You can do your background and then do it. Let's see. Doubtful again. Look,
Camera ready होना पड़ता है ना.
yeah. Anybody here there who would love to do this small exercise, and then we'll probably ask you some questions. If you're not asking, let me ask. Okay. All right. So And let me ask that to audience first, and then if audience is not answering, then maybe this is for you, Hina. Okay.
Okay.
What would be your one word answer for AI? AI in one word. Let audience answer that first. Audience, what do you think? AI in one word.
It's our companion, co-pilot as they call it.
Very nice. Anybody else?
Uh, it says it is co-pilot, and we are the pilot who actually run the flight.
Very nice. Anybody else?
Maybe an assistant like a Jarvis.
Yeah. Nice. And Hina, what is your suggestion here?
I feel limitless, Aditya, to be very frank. I am using a lot of AI in my day-to-day work. Now one thing is that I have become much better
Mm-hmm.
in the work that I do. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to review many times and, think of an email to be sent. I write the email, I get it polished and I send it. In our
Yes.
coding world itself, now PR reviews, everything we are using AI to do that. And which is an in-house, we are using Copilot, but it is an enterprise Copilot for IBM. So it's
Mm.
not that we are going public. So those fronts. Then I'm also into a little of patenting part. And we are developing a lot of, patents and ideas on AI. So which is tough now, of course, because AI has really have everything, we have everything today, but then still you get to be better with AI. And I personally feel it's a big, big help.
I agree. So
The
it's
work.
definitely a big, big help. It's an amplifier. It is companion. It's
Yes.
somebody who is your assistant. I agree. So rather than seeking help, you can ask for help. So while Hina suggested that, okay, I also use a lot, and what Hina said. Let me ask one quick question to everybody. How many of you now, when you write email, basically get it reviewed by something like Copilot or ChatGPT and or Gemini's or and then basically send it across. Okay. Be honest here. Okay. This is something which I want you to answer it. Everybody should, whoever is participating, let me know your thoughts on that. When you write your emails, which you want to send it to your, what do you call, client, or you want to send it to your own boss. No, 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 no thumbs up. I want you to basically unmute and speak up. Okay. So everybody, this is your chance to engage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give your
Mostly
experience.
even
Mayur, how do you basically, yes, give us some examples if that is what you used. And is it every email that you're using? That also you can
yeah.
say.
Most of the times it's good to have to make the sentence more formally and more corporate words. Added sometimes. Not only for manager, even sometimes when I make a leave for my child to school, I just ask the co-pilot to write a
Yes,
leave application. It's very easy to write even for managers also, and it's very good. Means it take save our times because we have to think what are the
yeah,
good words for the mails. It's very
yes,
make
yes.
our life very easy, I will say
Agreed, I
nowadays.
agreed, Mayur. What about others? Do you want to share your experiences there?
So
Anybody else?
I don't know if people are using it, but last week I used it to generate a MOM. So now we have the transcript created.
Yeah.
Earlier I used to write, everything in diary and then remember and sabka naam likho and all those things. Now, last week I tried that with Copilot itself. The meeting was completely transcript recorded, and I just asked Copilot to generate a MOM for me, and
And
it
it did a wonderful job.
wonderful job. And like people would not remember they had confirmed that thing, but it was on that memo. Of course, it went through a round of review by me, and then I corrected,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
was not to be shared and all. That was done, but a very quick thing for MOMs if someone uses that part.
no, yes, very true. So, in fact, if you have a large PDF, like for example, there was this very big RFP that came
Mm.
in, and we had to basically look at key aspects. So, obviously, I would have read it, but to
Yeah.
get a summary out, I just gave it to the Copilot, and it just summarized it. To an extent, yes, it was a big help because if you are looking at key points, it does help, and you can look at the gaps, and then you can fill it on your own as well. So, yes, it's something that we have all been using. But except Mayur, anybody else would like to say something and say this is what you have been personally consuming? Any suggestions there?
Yeah, this is Rakesh. I think
Rakesh
it's
ji,
been
where
long
are you?
time.
Good to see you back again. And can you bring your camera up if it's okay? Long time no see. You have been our speaker earlier.
Yeah, I've been part of 2 seasons, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm in Kuwait right now, attending from office. On
Very
and
nice.
off, I was joining and back, and able to see the Hina's lab. Quite surprising that it was massive than what I have seen.
Yeah.
So coming to this, I think I haven't realized because we have Copilot license embedded as part of our life cycle. So whenever I go to email, I give whatever the context to it, and automatically it generates, and I will recorrect few words and send it. And maybe for mom, maybe since Copilot is embedded again in my license, the Copilot is automatically recording and giving the action items. And
Wow.
good part is, if you are not in the meeting, at least it will tell you where exactly you were mentioned during that meeting, so that you can directly go to that
Awesome.
particular place and
Yeah.
then see that why I was mentioned, and we can go ahead and then based on the action items we can get it. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why I
So
said no limitless. I mean, the more you know, the less you know. It's like that.
Yeah, very
yeah,
true.
yeah.
And
Nice.
good to see you, Rakesh, and thanks for sharing your experience as well. Anybody else who
I
would like
just
to
have
share?
one question to
Yeah.
Hina. Before this, and Hina, you can take this question a little later after this topic. We have Crew AI, we have
Yeah.
BAI. So where Crew AI can be utilized, where BAI can be utilized, are both the same tools. So maybe after this conversation, yeah, please pick this if time permits.
Yeah. Crew AI is mainly for agentic AI systems. So BAI plus Crew AI is possible, Rakesh. So it helps you get
Got
the
it.
MCP server part, the plugin part with Crew AI.
Yeah, because right now we are doing some research with Crew AI.
Okay.
I'm doing my
Okay.
personal own research, but
Nice.
this BAI caught my eye as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. So Crew AI plus BI, that also you'll find some information on the net as well. But Crew AI is the MCP part to help connect your agents and all those.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So look, we have Shubham and then we have Rakesh sharing, sorry, Mayur and Rakesh. Anybody else? Because I'm just instigating you to basically come up on the stage. See, if it was a real conference, I would have basically come to you and picked you up and drag you to the stage. So I don't know who is there and who is alive now. So anybody else would like to share their experience on using Copilots or ChatGPT or Gemini? Where have you used and how you have used? Kaustubh, you have been active. Do you want to share something? Anybody else?
So anyone using it for coding for their, if someone into development in the teams, if not them, in the teams, are you using it for
Yeah.
day to day? Yeah, Costa.
We can't hear you. Maybe some network issue, Kaustubh.
Yeah. Okay.
Really,
Your voice is not clear, Costa.
Yes, I want to say, we are using for our development purpose. Even I am a developer, so I will say even I have done some POC like no code,
Hmm.
everything is generated by Copilot. Even a complete project, even a for an Angular project and .NET project, both are completely 100%. I will say generated
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
Copilot within the with the font. So
Yes.
not an enterprise, it takes some time, but now it's very good, I will say. For POC purpose, sometimes we have to give the training to our team, so sometimes we have to create some POC, so that is also good part. It save our time
Correct.
again, so for
Correct. Correct.
development also.
And there are many tools actually, Aditya, like lot of tools, but they give you free trials. So,
Hmm.
the moment you start using them, your that trial period goes away. So,
And then you start
uh,
spending. There is a lot
then
of
you start
subscription.
spending, and you don't know if it's the best tool, even for image
Yeah.
generation. We talk about this nano banana these days, Gemini.
Yeah.
But uske
Yes.
baad bhi there are other tools also. So,
Mhm.
and they are costly. They are like not
Yeah.
cheap.
There is a tool which is basically used for making PPTs. Anybody has tried using PPTs as well?
Gamma.
Gamma.
Gamma. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
Copilot does that very beautifully.
Mhm.
It'll give you entire deck.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's not that professional level. Um,
Yeah,
so,
but if you have to quickly create, I think Gamma does a good
uh,
job as well. I think Gamma is something which probably is there.
but Gamma is
Which
chargeable, right?
i-
After some
if
time,
you save a lot of time and it helps you, why can't? Well,
yeah,
I'm
you
just saying
pay
that
for
if
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what basically that is where we start spending money. As you start saying limitless and as you start adding these subscriptions, it is adding on to your pocket as well. So
Pocket,
that is another
exactly.
challenge.
Correct, correct.
Yeah, Bal, yeah, Bal, Bal, how do you say your
Yeah,
name? Yeah.
Bala.
Bala,
Yes.
yes, Bala. You want to share
Hi,
something?
Aditya. Yeah,
Hi.
we are using Copilot for testing purpose, creating test design activity, getting the requirements and converting that one to test scenario, and
Mm-hmm.
then test case design, and then BDD scenario. Then after that, converting the BDD scenario to test script development. Like that,
All
we
right.
are using Copilot, and then file comparison with the huge database, DB comparison, and all we are using GenAI. Yeah.
Right. So in that case, does it basically you can give the user stories and does it generate the BDD scenarios
Correct.
automatically? And how
Yeah, yeah.
comprehensive it is?
The accuracy standpoint, it comes around 80 to 85 percentage. Again, that depends on the what kind of input we have given. If the input like the requirement document or some other thing, a very detailed one, automatically it will covers and it will give the output exactly with high accuracy.
And what if we give a screenshot or basically a screen design as an image? Does it still be able to produce something like that?
That work is also going on, but accuracy standpoint, it is comparatively very less when we have in the data.
Nice. Great. Thank you so much, Bala, for sharing. You have been, you would, did you, are you, I think you are a speaker as well,
Yeah,
correct?
correct.
Yeah, welcome.
Continuously second year.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that is great too. Anybody else who would like to share their thoughts, guys? I'm just holding on to Hina's time. I'm so sorry, Hina, but I think interactions is what
Yeah.
I love, and I would love to learn from people who are
Yeah.
around.
So,
Yeah.
correct, correct.
I have one question, maybe from anyone. Like as you also said, means most of the company, even Amazon, getting a data, the summary data for review example. But sometimes if we want to give some type of report summary or some to our customer, so again the question is the data security. So because the LLM is a big company and they use the data, so is there any server even company can purchase or some LLM model that is or particular server that only accessible to the company? Is it any possibility like that?
Yeah, I think probably you can install local version. I think yesterday somebody was talking, is it LangChain or something that you can locally put on Llama? Is it some one of these two? Can you double check there, please?
Okay. Yes.
Anybody else can share because I think one of them is probably you can locally install and then use that. Good.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any other suggestions? Otherwise, I will probably ask one more question to everybody, and then probably I think we are close to two. So let's say as a tester, okay, we or as in the QE or as in the dev, where do you think probably we should be looking forward to upskilling ourselves? What should be our first step? Like for example, somebody who is basically picking it up somewhere, where should they start? So Hina, if you can share, or Rakesh, if you can share, or anybody else, let's hear that out. Yeah, Hina, if you want to say something and unmute yourself and say, look, for a fresher, for if
Yeah.
even somebody who is experienced and he wants to pick up things, where do they start? And is there basically
I
like a list, learning list that we can create and give it to them that you go there?
no, I think be tester, be a developer, absolutely, your choice, your opportunities, but be technically very strong.
Hmm.
Languages will change, the
Yeah,
way things work will change, but your hold on your technical knowledge will just grow.
yeah,
And then you can be a tester or a developer. I mean, then there are no limits or no boundaries for you.
yeah,
If you're working on an application, understand your application very well, understand the workflow, understand how it works. Don't need to code always. But a tester, even if I'm in testing, and whenever I didn't know how things are working, I was always at a loss.
hmm.
So the technical knowledge is a must. And area wise, so it's all yours. How you grow, how you plan your strategy, and all. But yeah, that has been my experience. So
Sure. But within an AI space, if we have to start somewhere, where do we start?
again, understand the AI thing, understand the
Yeah,
technical AI, because Tomorrow, if there are 10 testers in a team today, it'll be only with one. The
Hmm.
team will reduce down to one with AI going ahead. Similar
Hmm.
will be for developers also.
Yeah.
So in our current projects, we are using Bob, which is IBM development tool.
Hmm.
And developers have been asked to mandatorily use that tool to develop their UIs and backend work. And now we are collecting data. Okay, what
Yeah.
is your percentage improvement and all? So the moment next 1 year, may data will be collected and we will know that how many people we need in the team. So that thing will not work. But I think understand AI, understand LLM models so that you can be an AI engineer rather
Yeah,
than
yeah,
this.
that is true. I also was talking to very big few companies. Most
Hmm.
of them basically have mandated using
Yes,
these generative AI co-pilots, and they monitor. So
they
it's not
monitor.
only and they say that whether you are using it or not, and there is a report that comes out to you, and the supervisor then says, why have you not used? If somebody has not used for through 2 3 months, it basically is a career improvement plan or something like that happens. And then obviously what you said is right, as time progresses, that productivity improvement is what is something that is anyways being tracked, and
Exactly.
that is where we are all basically at a juncture where tomorrow or day after, if we don't pick it up, we would be at a crossroads. I'm sure
Correct.
I that is what is also being heard, not only in one company but multiple companies as well.
So it'll
So
be like I'm an AI developer, I'm an AI tester. So be an AI
yeah,
engineer.
yeah, this is
Mm.
something which is reality. I would say it's around happening around.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Anybody would like to share
So
anything on this? Yeah.
I would like to say in today's world, the main skill which I would like to say is like leveraging AI.
Yeah.
So yesterday in one of the labs as well, it was very crucial. There is a main important point which even I was closely looking at is maintaining the personas, maintaining
Yes,
what is the
yes.
context, what is the
Correct, correct.
particular task you want to make the AI to do, and what are the instructions you are going to give. For this, I would like to ensure three things which we need to do when we want to get these prompts. Like this, when you have a persona, first of all, when we have a domain expertise, whether it is a retail domain, insurance domain, or a healthcare domain, you guys know who are the different types of actors working on it. You guys have the context, what kind of things which you are looking at, whether it is a code or whether it is a test case or whether it is a strategy or whether it is an estimate or whether it is a deployment pre-planning. So kind of context and the kind of a task which you want to do, then give the references, instructions, what AI want to do it. Then on top of it, we can do it. Nowadays, we are leveraging AI not only just for the field of it. Let's say we want to develop a particular job description. I'm also using AI, but what I'm doing is what exactly I need, and I'm feeding AI with my own data as well. And AI is going to use this as an additional input in order to generate an effective information.
Yeah.
One of my friends said that he was using something called Quillbot, which automatically rephrases it, and he is blaming Quillbot, saying it is not rephrasing a lot. But I used to ask him whether you first wrote the sentences in an accurate manner, then Quillbot has the effective strategy to make it in a nicer
Yeah.
way. So leveraging AI, I would like to say with the context. And one more thing which we have done is we all know that there are something called checklists,
Hmm.
whether it is a user experience checklist, code review checklist, or you can say that test web service checklist. Feed all these checklists so that AI can have this RAG mechanism in order to retrieve and generate more better responses towards it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely right. But wonderful. I think this small interaction with all of you was really fruitful, and I loved this engagement as well. Many thanks. And Yashaswini, if you can bring the thank you slide for Hina, we would let her go now.
Yeah, sure.
No, but good discussion, Aditya.
Yeah.
You know the how other projects, other organizations are working towards AI. So
Yeah.
thanks for having it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Hina, for a wonderful session.
Thank you.